couple of days ago we made a video on chemtrail residues and whether you have to be sick from that. I know there's a lot of junk in them, right? There's toxic metals like aluminum and barium and strontium that have been well documented at this point. And biological weaponry, as Clifford Carnicom has found some of it, like dried blood cells, but there's more, and cross-domain organisms, all this garbage that you're supposed to breathe in and everything. And it would be easy to think that you have to feel terrible and you have to feel sick when they're flying over. Here today, for some reason, I guess it's really good they don't have enough airplanes to cover everywhere, because there is no visible spraying going on at all. Most of the time we get pounded in northern Arizona, but today I guess they're busy doing that to somebody else. Anyway, a lot of people are suffering so much from this stuff, especially if they can sense it at all, if they can smell and taste it, which a small percentage of people actually can. It goes along with these symptoms, and people get flu-like symptoms and breathing problems and joint problems and all this stuff. So yesterday's video was about whether you have to actually suffer from those things if you're being sprayed, which everybody on the planet now is being sprayed. Even the crazy rulers who think that somehow they're going to get away with it, or away from it, it's not going to happen, but it's making a mess for the rest of us. So yeah, the video I did a couple days ago was to say, no, you don't have to have total suffering from all this, because we have incredible dormant immunity that, you know, the doctors have not been taught how to activate, and the academic people don't believe in, and the media said it's not true. But it is true. And even a lot of these unnatural things, like what's coming down on our heads in chemtrails, we can resist that to a great degree, and my suggestion is that we do that, because we need to turn this whole thing around, and in order to have the best opportunity to do that, we need to keep clear, we need to have our health in great condition, our energy high all the time, and immunity, so that we don't have to worry about infectious diseases or things like chemtrail residues. And I'm telling you, you can do that if you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to think outside the box, learn some unusual stuff that you haven't been taught before, you haven't seen it on TV or been taught it in school. But it's real, and it is possible. I spent the last 40-some years trying to, actually 53 now, counting the whole period, trying to work on how to perfect those things and adapt some of these things that were taught thousands of years ago on how to do this, and adapt them to now when we've got all these ridiculous assaults going on against humanity that they didn't have the technology for before. And it comes down to simple, basic laws of nature that we're not taught anymore, how to bring your lifestyle into harmony with that, and harmless things that you can do that are really powerful, and avoid things that hurt you as much as you can. And so somebody asked me when we were talking about all that, what about, you know, that's great to know that the people suffering from chemtrail residue can greatly improve how they feel a lot better. But what about the electrosensitive people? Because, you know, we have this 5G system rolling out. There's not just one major assault against humanity, there are many. And one of them is the chemtrail program. Another one is the microwave technology, not just 5G, but 4G and 3G. These are all offshoots of the weaponry that was perfected before World War II to affect people's health and their thoughts and their emotions and their state of mind with frequencies. We've had Barry Trower on the Sunday show. I recommend that you take a look at that if you don't know about this. So some of the people are already feeling the damage from the malicious microwave frequencies, and those people are called electrosensitive, but everybody's being damaged, whether you can feel it or not. And what I'm telling you is, just like with the chemtrails, you can resist it to a great degree if you know what to do. And it has to do with simple things. Clean water, clean food, stop eating the poison, don't ever touch the GMO stuff, but also the things that are called conventional food in the store. Those should be labeled poison food, not conventional food, and you don't ever trust or touch those. You get sunlight exposure, build up to it gradually, because we're designed to need the sunlight. Sleep is critical. That's the only time when you rebuild and repair. Exercise is critical too, but you don't get stronger when you're exercising. You might feel better, but exercise gives the body the direction of what to rebuild stronger. And then it's at night when you're sleeping, getting really good sleep in complete darkness, and that's when you get stronger. So we just need to have these simple things remembered. And one of the problems is, besides we're educated against that stuff and told to trust the people developing the GMOs and chemical fertilizers are feeding the world and all this nonsense, the doctors and the people with credentials that speak up against this stuff and start saying even a little bit of the truth, they have a problem. They tend to get harassed and or killed. And for a long time, since I spent so many years putting these things together, I was being very quiet. For the same reason, I thought I could really do more good if I'm still physically alive for a while. But it's so intense now what's going on in the world that I figured, let's talk about the full depth of what you can really do, not just the problems that are going on, the depth of the bigger conspiracy and how that's being organized. Because if you know about it but you don't know solutions, it doesn't really do that much good. So I spend my time connecting dots and learning trial and error and experimental research, how you can resist these things and be more effective in what you're doing in the world by getting your health fixed and your immunity back, staying away from vaccines and all the poisons that we're told to take, away from fluoridated water, which has never helped teeth at all, by the way. So I just figured, whatever they're doing to the people who speak out, we have to talk. A friend told me another doctor was killed a couple days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, and if you're not aware of that, take a look at Erin Elizabeth's website. I think it's called healthnotnews.com or something like that. She's done a good job keeping track of all the doctors that have died mysteriously, holistic health doctors that aren't obviously allowed to say what they've found out. But I've spent a lot of time putting all this together. I know things you can do to resist the chemtrail residue and the electrosensitivity issues, the microwave transmissions that are hurting people. So how are we disseminating that information? Well, on the Sunday show on blogtalkradio.com /Lost Arts Radio, that is every Sunday we have incredible guests educating people on things you might not know about in depth. And that's at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, every Sunday. It's free. All the archives are at the same site, blogtalkradio.com /Lost Arts Radio, going back years, and you can look at as many as you're interested in. It's very valuable information. Then on Saturday we started a new show looking at some of the things that are going on in the world. That's at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. That's brand new, and you can join us there if you'd like to. But the real sensitive stuff, getting into personal health and life situations that you need solutions for, information, no medical diagnosis or anything that would get us shut down right away, just sharing information that's out there that you may not really understand or know about. That one is the special one that is new since January. LostArtsRadio.com /club. You'll see a link down below on this video. And on that one, we really get into the details of exactly how you can get your health back, how you can protect it, how you can resist the microwave transmissions and the chemtrail residues and a lot of other things. specifics, and it's interactive. So if you do that, we can talk. There's an ongoing chat. You don't just get to ask one question and that's it. You get to talk, comments and Q&A the whole time. I'll usually talk for the first hour and share things that are important that I want you to know, and it's wide open. I'm not worried about what we are and are not allowed to talk about. Everything's open. And then up to the 2 hours after that, if you have any comments or questions, or you need to address personal issues, I'm inviting you. Go to lostartsradio.com/club and get in if you want to. It's not totally free. There's a $10 a month charge that all goes to the nonprofit research institute, because we need a way without hyping or manipulating anybody to buy into some product that you don't really need. We need a way to hopefully raise money to build a school where we can demonstrate and these things can be experienced firsthand, and still use the internet too. But for the moment, until there's money for that, if we get thousands and thousands of people who could use this information to sign up for the club so we could build a school right away, which is what I'd really personally like, if we can do that. Until then, we're just going to share all this stuff openly, everything you're not supposed to know about. And it's real, you guys. That's why I really had to think about whether to do it on any format at all, any platform, but we decided to go ahead. So join us if you're interested and you have the courage to change your own cherished habits in favor of things that will protect and help you. That's what we'll share. So join us on Saturday, okay? I'd like to meet you there. And otherwise, if you don't want to be part of the club, then you can still watch for these free videos on YouTube, and as long as we're allowed to keep them up, and as often as my time allows, I'll keep putting them up there. If you have subjects you'd like covered, you can certainly let me know. Lost Arts Radio has a Facebook page, and we have a forum on lostartsradio.com. If you need to send me a suggestion, a question, or a topic you'd like covered, you can email it to me, richard@lostartsradio.com. I want this to help as many individual people that are suffering from these disease conditions and health problems they think are incurable, or they think they have to be just wiped out by chemtrails or EMF. No, you don't. Not yet. They haven't gotten that strong. But if you don't know how to raise your own immunity, you might feel pretty wiped out, and I have friends in that situation. I want to tell you what you can do to feel better. But my ulterior motive beyond that is I want enough people to get rid of their health issues, get rid of their aging issues, their immunity issues, just wipe them out by what I'm going to share with you. And then the real work starts. It's not saying the health issues aren't important, but there's another stage. And that's internal work in areas of, have to call it consciousness, for lack of a better term, where you find out how to act as the opposite of a cell tower. And I really think if a couple thousand of us learn to do that, which I want to talk about on the club, we could do what the bad guys want to do with cell towers, but the opposite. I know that might not make sense now, but it will, especially once you get rid of the health issues. So if you're up to that, I'd really like to meet you on Saturday and start getting into it. Otherwise, watch for more videos like this. Tell me what you want to talk about, and I'll meet you here next time.